Robbie Crawford.
Jake Rasmussen's on.
So my goodness. Robbie, you've been here now for over a year at YM360.
Over a year. I mean, what's crazy to me when you think about like the statistics of an average youth pastor's term at a church is 18 months.
We were just talking about that at lunch.
I have now been at YM360 for about as long as most youth pastors find themselves at their church. So it's weird.
Well, you run Game Tip Tuesdays.
Hey.
And you do this weird thing every now and again, is this fun fact, right? Or this weird and mysterious things. You have to be on your toes, ready to go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what's been your most memorable memory here at YM360?
My most memorable memory? I would say we had an office-wide cornhole tournament for the 10-year celebration of YM360 being a company.
You do know, as this is happening, Clayton is sitting here, and
he is. He is
he's
the
just
reigning
like this
champ.
right now.
In fact, his partner is no longer at the company. Not like she got fired or anything. Let's just say that she has moved on to something really awesome. We miss you a lot, Lauren. But reigning champ right here in front of us, we're basking in his glory, which honestly, like Jake and I were probably the two most experienced cornhole players arriving to the tournament, and we both got eliminated in the first round.
Yes.
So, what a time.
Yes.
Really showed up for the competition.
I will say that you had to rank yourself
That's true.
in like 1 to 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, Clayton ranked himself as a 0.
That's not true.
Sandbagger
He's a
right here.
negative 7. No. But no, it was super fun. I'm all about community. I'm all about fun. And so just for everyone to be gathered in the room, celebrating, and really just taking that time to reflect and go, wow, 10 years ago, Andy and Les sat down with a vision, and here we are in this amazing, beautiful space, getting to connect with you workers like you on a daily basis, and just doing our best to help you guys be the heroes that we know you are.
That's right. So speaking of vision, this is a great segue into 6 ways that you can cast your 2020 vision for
2021.
ministry. Oh my goodness,
2020 is over.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Almost. It is
Crazy.
almost over.
But like honestly, guys, raise your hand. You can raise it behind your computer screen. I can feel you right now if you're ready for 2020 to be over.
Yes. I cannot believe we've made it to December though. I can't.
Yeah. There was multiple moments of this year where I think many of us said, I don't know that like the world's going to exist by the end of this. So when we talk about this, I want to there's just 6 things that we think are very helpful as you cast a vision, because for some of you, that's not necessarily something you practice all the time. And so the first thing is that when you are casting a vision for 2021, bring leaders into the vision casting process. And here's what I mean by that. Reach out to some key parents, some key volunteers, and some key just leaders in your church and say, hey, we want to create this roadmap for our students to follow as we walk through the next year. What do you think would be important things for us to include in that, right? And you can even they can lean on, well, in the past we've done something like this. And so you just have voices speaking into it, which will give more buy-in as you actually try to carry out that vision.
Yeah, let me also caution you, not caution, but encourage you that you could feel like if you're going to adults or leaders and saying, what do you think the vision could be like? You might feel like they're going to look right back at you and be like, that's what we pay you for, right? Like God called you to be here.
That's true.
But God did not call you to only be the one to only have the vision. God called you to use those around the body of Christ, that we need each other to do this. So it's really an important thing is to bring leaders, bring others into this process, not only for buy-in, but also because that's, I think, what God has called us to do as well.
That's true.
The next piece here is not only leaders, but it's students, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you may think, well, I have student leaders. Fantastic. You get the best of both worlds. Bring them into the conversation. Help them have some buy-in. But also start polling your students. And here's the question that I would say. If you're asking this on a regular basis, you're going to see some phenomenal growth in your ministry. And that's just simply, what do you want out of this student ministry? Because if your students can't answer that question, well, you don't really have a vision to follow anyways. Because, well, I guess we'll just keep doing what we're doing, right? If you can ask that question, I guarantee you they'll give some feedback. We want more games. We want this. We want events or whatever they're going to answer. And that gives you very real tangibles to hold on to and kind of bring into this vision.
Yeah. Something to note, though, with that is just because students do say more games or we want to learn about angels or we want to learn about dinosaurs or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I mean, the sky's the limit, right? Walk into the junior high guys class and you're going to get just about anything. It doesn't mean you have to do it, right? But it does give the process of learning and giving and taking. And here's kind of a cool little caveat with this, is that if students come in and you have student leadership and student ownership in there, that could be pretty powerful. So watch out for Q1. Say Q1 like we're in some business thing. Watch out here in a few weeks. I know that you're going to have a really cool training about how to start that student leadership process.
Absolutely. So
Robbie's like I am.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. Here we are. No, it's the third thing is we're moving past here, right? I am all about student leaders. And
he is.
I truly am. And our third point is we cannot overlook the value of prayer. So pray.
And then do what?
And then pray some more.
And then do what?
And then eat.
Okay.
And then
do
pray
what?
again.
All right.
So some of you got really excited about step 3 there. And here's what I mean. We so undervalue prayer in the church some days. Oh, I'll pray for you. And we think, well, I guess you're not going to do anything then, right? like when did we get there as a church that we stopped valuing prayer? If you are looking for a vision for your ministry, how are you going to find that without bringing God into the equation?
Yeah.
So we have to pray. And there's going to be a moment for all you non-prayer warriors out there, and I'm not making you feel bad, but there's a moment where you come, and I felt that, right? Like Sister Betsy's praying, and you're like, how is she still going? Like she has to stop sometime. I've been in that moment, and so when you feel you've reached that point of your prayer, stop. Go grab a Cliff Bar. Some Skinny Pop, whatever you like to eat. A Snicker, because you're not yourself when you're hungry. So grab your snack of choice.
Yeah.
And then jump back in the prayer room and keep going. Refuel and get ready.
I grabbed my phone on this, and I was thinking, gosh, I should just do this, I said, for me, I just started a new text message to a leader. I said, it's to Wesley. I said, would you join me in praying for ... right? And then fill in that blank. So not only pray, but encourage others and have others to partner with you in prayer as well.
Absolutely. And then the fourth thing is align for when you're trying to cast this vision, align with your church, with your overall church's 2021 ministry vision. Think about this. How often do we have little silos within the church? What are you learning in student ministry right now? What are you learning in children's ministry and preschool and adults and college? And it's all of these different things. And our people of the church can get so confused about what we're trying to accomplish as a church. But if you can align with what your senior pastor is trying to do, that's a really good practice to have anyways, in job security. But second, when your senior pastor is preaching on Sunday morning, they're going to be aligning with the ministry vision of the overall church.
That's right.
And if you come alongside that, they're going to hear the same vision and same direction on Sunday morning, Wednesday nights, Sunday school, all of those places. It becomes very clear where God is leading the church in that moment.
Yeah. A very simple business analysis tools. We use SWOT, right? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? And so I see this right here is highlight the needs and struggles of your youth ministry is point number 5. So I feel like it works into that matrix. Why would you want to highlight those in your mind?
So you know your students, you know your ministry. It'd be very easy to go Google youth ministry vision ideas. And I guarantee you some person out there, I was about to call him a schlub, which is
wait,
not
you could land on our article.
You could definitely land on our article. So we're not schlubs and no one else is either.
I do not even know the meaning of schlub. I so hope you made up the word.
I think I did.
Because everyone's going to be Urban Dictionary that
here
right
we go.
now.
If that isn't Urban
Robbie
Dictionary,
at.
that's my bad. My bad. No, you could Google some ideas for it, sure. But I think if you did that, you would be forgetting about step 3 of prayer. And you should be forgetting about steps, like really, honestly, all of the things we've already talked about. You want to look at your student ministry because they're the ones that you're leading. And so what needs do they have? Address those in 2021, not just generic student ministry needs.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Taking us home on point number 6 here, which I really like. And sitting here at the end of 2020, I can't even help but to think only of 2021 because it's not going to be 2020.
Yeah.
But more importantly is to think bigger than just 2021.
Right. What comes next? You should be asking, I told you that you should be asking your students, what do you want out of youth ministry? Ask yourself this question at all times. What comes next?
Yeah.
Where you finish this series, what comes next? What happens when we finish this event? What comes next? And if you can answer that question readily, you're going to be prepping for it while you're in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so this idea of going forward, don't just stop with your vision casting of this year. Do you want to do something amazing? Do you feel God is calling you to this magnificent number? I will never forget, I arrived at a church and I heard that we were working in the 2010 vision. The 2010 vision was cast in 2003.
That's great.
And you may think, well, that's crazy. There's no way they could hold on to it for 7 years.
Yeah.
But they did. And when you ask members of that church, do you remember the 2010 vision? People would tell you it was a turning point of the church.
That's good.
So don't run from big vision.
That's right.
If
That's
it's going to
good.
take more than 2021, fantastic. We got time.
We got time.
Like we can only work with the days that are right here. So why not plan for the future, right? Why not be excited about the future? So lean into it. Think bigger than 2021. And I guarantee you your students are going to latch onto this vision.
Yeah, and I think what's cool is when you continually cast a vision, especially in walking into New Year's, your students then, when you ask your students, what do you want, it'll be very mysterious that they start repeating back to the vision that has been given through students and other leaders and God himself through you. And so you are God's chosen person to serve in your youth ministry, and we are thankful for that. We know that as you serve in the trenches of youth ministry, sometimes it gets lonely, and sometimes you need a little encouragement or resourcing along the way. That's what YM360 does. We exist to create high quality resources and life-changing events so that you can spend your time doing what matters most, and that's leading students in that vibrant relationship with Jesus Christ. Thanks for what you do. If we can do anything here at YM360 to serve you, please let us know.